Welcome back. I'm Tara, and this is Love My Refuge. And today I'm going to be transplanting this plant here into this pot because this is actually a Japanese tree that we use here as like a little bush. They use it there that way too, but it's a great house plant and it's going to get very big, and that's what I want because I want a house like a jungle. So we're just going to transplant this into this. Next, we're going to take a look at this plant that my mom gave me that is definitely a rescue. And I will show you how to try and remedy that, and then I'll post an update, a few weeks later. We can check in on that. And then my mom got me, I forgot the name, the arrowhead here, and it's got all these roots. I'm going to leave it in water because that's the way she had it, and it was doing well in water. There's no signs of root rot or anything. Also, I put the tiniest bit of peroxide in the water, which helps with oxygen in the water, which kills anything that would cause root rot. And we'll get to that. Okay. So first things first, I'm going to mix a new potting soil for this. Obviously, it needs more. So I've just got this premium all-purpose for indoor and outdoor plants in pots. And I literally have no gloves. This may not even be the best way to do this, but this is what's working for me right now. My fingers, all of my fingernails are going to be filthy. I need to get a good pair of gloves. But usually, I just do it this way and the nails get dirty. So, I want to add a little bit of this sphagnum peat moss. I normally don't buy peat moss. I know that it's like really good for the soil, and that it's not the most easily sustained resource because peat moss takes a very long time to form. So I just put a little bit of it in there, and usually, like I said, I normally wouldn't buy that. I have some worm castings here that I'm going to put on top. Because when I transplant it, I want it to also get fed. So here's some of the new, actually I want some perlite in this. I spilled some earlier. I'm going to use this pot later to transplant some cacti, which will be another video. So there's some of that. Where's the rest of the perlite? Right here. So this perlite improves drainage and aeration so that you don't get root rot, because if it's just straight soil, soil collects the water and it keeps it up against the plant, so you're more likely to overwater it if it can't drain well and end up with root rot. So you want to get some space kind of like in between your dirt, and that's what the perlite does. So it allows it to drain. My cats are, hey, stop it, fighting. Sort of fighting. It starts out as playing and ends up as fighting, which is usually how that goes with children too. So here, put that in the bottom. I'm going to mix some more. So this is just, my own little potting mix. Instead of just using the soil, this has some stuff in it, as you can see, these little white pieces. That's the same thing that we're putting in here, the perlite. So it's already in there, but I like putting extra in because it really just keeps me from overwatering. Excuse me, get down. This is actually a really big pot that I have to fill, so, okay. Excuse me, ma'am. Babies, you're just going to climb all over. This is what they always do. And this is why I'm getting a door in the kitchen. Sir. Yes, you are extremely handsome. But this is my time. Get down. There are plenty of posts on my cats. Yeah, so if you happen to subscribe to this channel, you'll get a lot of plant stuff and a lot of cat stuff. And who knows what other shenanigans I might decide. Who knows? I'm pretty crazy. Alright. mildly crazy. Jeepers creepers. That is a lot of soil. So I got it filled up like that because really I'm gonna make a little hole in here for it, basically. You know? Kind of just like this so that I can set it like down in here. Because I really don't want to fill the soil all the way up to the top because then, you know, you have it overfilling if you like accidentally overwater it. Alright, so we're going to get this guy out of here. Alright. Oh yeah. Well, he doesn't look as root bound as I expected him to at all. Like for this huge bush, I am surprised to find a worm in here. I must have put one. When did I have put a worm in that tiny little? Yeah, this has me boggled. There's a worm in this, and I have no, like I had it outside, but in this, there is a worm in here. Right here. Which is fine. That's great. Let's make sure I feed the little guy. Buddy, I'm sorry. Your home's about to get better. I thought you're going the wrong way, though. Here, stay in your hole, right? Stay in your hole. Get in there, right? Let's just put you in here. You'll be fine. Ta-da! All right. And then I'm just going to mix up a little more soil to put on top of here and water it really well. And I'm going to put some earthworm castings on top, which will feed the plant. Now, the worm needs food. So, I need to feed the worm. What the friggin' heck? How am I even going to do that? How has he been living in here? Because from what I understand, they need to eat like compost, like dead things. So, I guess I'll put some of these leaves in here, over here, from the find. Yeah, it's only one worm, so I don't know. They go through a lot, so maybe I'll just have to like, I'll probably like puree some scraps and put it in there or something. Not even like, I probably could puree it. All right, so gonna water her until she starts draining out of the bottom. So you could put this thing in the bathtub and fill it. That's one easy way to do it. If you have a lot of big house, this isn't really big. If you have really big house plants, I want really big house plants. I am going to get some really big house plants. Mark my words. And the best, I'm going to try and get them like small so I can grow them so they're not as expensive. The thing I love about this too is, like I trimmed off the top of this, it will continue growing and I can clip it from anywhere underneath a node and it will regrow. It's even regrowing out of itself here in the bottom. So I love this tree. I love the shape of its leaves. It's beautiful. I just really like it. It has so many tiny leaves. When I first saw it, I was like, oh, I really like that. You feel pretty heavy though. And even though you're not like, you could probably put more in there. I don't know that I really need to, but we're going to let it come off the bottom just to make sure that she's watered all the way through. And it's starting to pool. I don't like that. I'm not sure that this is going to be the fastest draining thing, so I will have to watch this pot closely. And one way that you can be sure not to overwater your plants is stick your finger in about up to your second knuckle, or like whatever 2 inches is for you. And if it's wet or damp, you really don't need to water. But if it's dry, you definitely need to water. And you don't want to let your plants get way too dry. the first inch or two of soil is really good after, if it's dry. After that, you really need to water it. So let the first 2 top inches get a little dry before you rewater, unless it's like a succulent. They don't like to be dry. All right, so there's that. Yay, she's got a bigger pot. Next up, we're gonna refill this plant with this poor baby. I'm expecting to find root rot. So let's see, because what my mom said was it's kind of like turning brownish. Oh yeah. All right, see. Oh. Okay, so this root right here is nice and white. These are nice and white. These are brown and mushy, and see, they just come right off. That is root rot. So the way to fix her is get her in some better soil and into a new pot, into new soil. So we're going to take all of this old soil off. Just putting it in here for now. Oh, another issue. She's in a bag. There's a bag wrapped around this, and it is not helping. Wow. So sometimes companies, I don't even know why they do this, but they put them in, like, it's probably for when they root them. You know how it's supposed to, like, biodegrade and stuff? Well, sometimes they just kind of don't. I'm making a mess. It's all right, though. That's why I love this table. And that was binding up all those roots. Now they're free. That feels so good. And what's sad is, because of that binding up, all of these came off. So these are like, they have like, it's not a bulb, but it has, this is kind of like how potatoes grow. They grow, they have leaves on top, and then they grow out roots, and like this little part would be the potato. It's like the same idea. Okay, so get her all cleared off, and then just want to rinse this off a little bit. Get a good look. Yeah, I think that we will absolutely save her and bring her back. I'm happy about this. Okay, so we're gonna get her a nice mixture. I'm going to use a lot of perlite on her because she's clearly going to get root rot very easily. I have noticed that those type of plants do, like a spider plant has roots like that as well. And they soak up a lot of water and they'll get root rot very quickly. So you kind of want to more like underwater them than overwater them. Once you see their leaves starting to droop, they definitely need watering. That's also another good sign. If the leaves are kind of droopy and not nice and resilient, that's another sign that they need watering. But also, if you haven't fed your plant in a while, it could also be a sign that they need feeding. So, like I said, the best way to know if you are overwatering or underwatering your plants is to do that finger test. If your finger does not come out wet, then in the top 2 inches, water it. No. All right, so we're gonna turn this. All right, here we go. Did you need something, Aaron? Oh, you want to just check and see if I'm still in frame? You're a sweet boy. You're my sweet boy. Oh yeah, you're in frame. Thank you, darling. So this little guy is gonna go in here. I kind of want to give it more room to grow up, so I'm gonna pull it up a little bit more. I am so excited for this plant. I really wanted one of these. All right. I think that she's going to do freaking fantastic in her new home. I'm going to put her in like an indirect light. Houseplants are usually tropical plants, and so they at least need indirect light. And they need at least 6 or plus hours of it. Because normally they would be like on the canopy floor in the jungle, and they would get a mixture of light and shade, and probably not too much direct light for too long. All right, there's that. That soil is definitely going to drain a lot better. You can see how much perlite I put in there, and I'm just going to let her set now. And I'm not going to bother her and let her get used to her new home. I'm going to wash this off, wash my hands. All right, we got one more plant that came from my mom's. And this is this arrowroot plant. The only thing I want to do with this is put it in this vase, put water in it, and then I add, so like 3% benzoyl peroxide, buy that, and then add a little bit, like 2 teaspoons of it to the water. This is, my mom must have had this in a bigger vase. This will go okay though. So I'm going to fill it with some warm water and put a little bit of the peroxide in it because that will keep root rot from happening because it oxygenates the water and it kills the bacteria and stuff that cause root rot that are growing on the roots. So literally all you have to do when you keep plants in water, you can keep almost any plant in water. I'm really not sure. I don't think succulents. This type, any climbing type, you can keep in water. So these roots do kind of look like, I mean, they're dark. Do you notice that? Do we have some root rot? We do have some stuff going on here. They're a little bit slimy. They're not showing signs of root rot yet, but I think it does have the stuff on it. So I'm going to, I think I'm going to rinse this really good, and then I'm going to put peroxide in here. Just about, you know, you could fill it like that much with peroxide. It's like 2 teaspoons. I'm really rambling here. But anyway, that's all you need to do. And then, like, change the water once a week and fertilize it. Just a little tiny bit of fertilizer. You can't use the same amount you would in the dirt, so you just, like, put a little bloop in there. And that way your plant will not die. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you so much for joining me today. And till next time, bless you guys.